What is good, everybody? It is your boy, a comic book novice, aka Contralad, aka Sylvester Still Stoned. And I know it's been a hot minute since I uploaded a video, man. Like, it's just, life's just going a little bit busy right now. Like, we a little bit busy out in these streets. But, you know, sometimes you just got shit to do. Anyways, moving past it. This is actually the second time that I've tried to record this video. The first time, the audio got super messed up for some reason. I have no idea why. Like, doing the same things I was doing before, but like the audio just was not having it. But hopefully that won't happen again and we can get this uploaded because I really want to make this video. Let's get into my thoughts on Ultimate Spider-Man so far. I say so far because I've only read like the first 10-11 issues. Wanted to do this in parts. That way I could get all of my talking points out in each one and not have to do like an hour-long video once I finish the whole thing. You know what I mean? Anyways, first thing I want to talk about is actually how many issues it takes for Peter to actually become Spider-Man. It takes like 6 issues before we actually see him like out in the streets, like doing Spider-Man shit, like trying to save people, swinging through, like just beating up like thugs, like criminals, snatching purses and shit. Like, not he's snatching purses, but he's snatching up the purse snatchers. Anyways, I really kind of like that because we got to see like Peter as he is, like as he was before he got powers, like seeing how he's like obviously not the most popular dude. He's not the most athletic guy. He's just like, he's really smart and he's just trying to do his own thing. He's got his friend Mary Jane, which I really like. Is another thing I really liked how they did, or how they're doing Mary Jane so far, like in what I've read. Because like in everything that I've read before, Mary Jane's kind of just been like, not stupid or anything, but like she's not like the intellectual that she is in this. She's mainly focused like on her acting career or like her modeling career or something like that in the stuff that I've read. So it was kind of like refreshing to see her done like as like she's like just as smart, if not like maybe a little bit smarter than Peter. And like another thing that is different in here, as opposed to other things that I've read, is that she actually like initially likes Peter first, I think, like, or maybe they like at the same time, but she actually asked Peter out first, like before he asked her out, which was like crazy. It's kind of crazy to see that because in everything I've read, it's just like Peter always like fawning over her and like just like, oh, I really want Mary Jane and all this and that, and like, you know, like the classic like nerd guy wants the popular girl stuff. So like it was cool to see a different approach to that relationship. Another person that changed from the stuff that I know and come from is Harry. In this, he's he's rich. Obviously, he's a rich kid. But in this one, he's kind of like Mr. Popular. And the stuff that I'd seen and read, he's kind of just like, he's a rich dude, but he don't really like being rich. Like he's kind of like a lone wolf, doing my own type of thing character. But in this, like he's kind of like the head of the popular kids. And like in fact, Flash Thompson, who also changes quite a bit from what I've seen before, and Kong, they're kind of like his little lackeys. And Flash Thompson even more so, like he has always been to me like Peter's quintessential bully, but in this one, he's kind of like the sidekick of it all. Like not to say Harry's bullying Peter. In fact, he takes like an avid like stance, like, yo, I'm not in it. He even gets like Peter to help him with his homework and stuff, like help him, but I mean like doing it for him. And Peter's like, yo man, like I don't mind doing this for you, but like can you tell your friends to stop whooping my ass every day? And he's just pretty much like, them's the breaks, kid. Sorry, what do you want me to do? There's nothing to be done. Drink some more. Another thing that I thought was really interesting about these beginning stages was that the whole wrestling career aspect was it was a lot longer in this. Like he stays wrestling for like a couple weeks before the promoter like really starts badgering him, like, hey, I need to know who you are so we can like do all this stuff, like da 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 da. But Peter's just like, nah, bro, like you knew what this was. Like I told you, none of that. So then he gets the bright idea to frame Spider-Man for like robbing the event, so that he doesn't have to like, for what I'm assuming, so he don't have to pay nobody and he can just keep all the money. But so obviously that's not true. But Spider-Man has to get out of there. He takes off. End of wrestling career. Which like everything I've seen before, like which is mainly just from the movies and the games. That's like a real quick thing. It's like one wrestling match. So it was kind of cool to see like how like he was working with them, and like is like behind the scenes, like he's like whispering to the guy like, yo, or like the guy's whispering to him like, yo, don't slam me so hard, and he's just like, man, shut up. Bah. I thought that was pretty funny. So then we get to the whole Uncle Ben thing, like, which is inevitable. But first of all, I kind of liked Ultimate Spider-Man Uncle Ben, like ponytail Uncle Ben. I was kind of digging his whole vibe. But we get to that part, and then we figure out, or we find out that the guy who killed Uncle Ben used to work or currently works for the Kingpin, thus bringing him into this whole thing. Peter starts investigating like where he could try to find Kingpin or what he can do. He ends up stumbling upon the enforcers, Ox, Fancy Dan, and Montana, I believe are their names, along with their boss, Mr. Big. And like he gets into a tussle with the enforcers. Like these guys are kind of like your like stock early bad guys, like early villains for a superhero. Like you got the stereotypical like jacked one. You got like the dude who's like wisecracking. You got the like kind of like leader of the Three Stooges, and then you got Mr. Big. Peter gets into a tussle with the three, and then Mr. Big comes in. He's just like, hey man, we might work for the Kingpin, but we don't know where he'd be kicking it. And like just gives him like, but he ends up knowing where he's at, and like he's like, hey, all I know is he's throwing a party this Friday. You should go there. Maybe you'll find something out. Basically like setting him up, like, or like setting Kingpin up. He's just like, I don't give a fuck. Like I don't like this dude anyways. Hopefully the Spider-Man guy will take him out. A few days later, Peter goes to the party. Like he, as Spider-Man, like he's in there trying to figure shit out. Gets confronted, ends up getting caught by Kingpin. They tussle a little bit. Then he brings in Kingpin brings in Electro, which was nuts. Like we got to see him like basically for the first time in a comic book. Like I never really read nothing with him in it. And Kingpin calls him Elektra before he appears like on the page, like, which beforehand I thought, I was like, what, like Elektra's gonna be in this, like maybe Daredevil comes in, and then like it's like you flip the page, you turn the page, and it's Electro, and he's like, hey man, like it's, come on, it's Electro. So I thought that was kind of funny. But they get into it, Electro takes Peter out, shocks him, messes him up real good, and they fucking unmask him. Like, I thought that shit fucking took me out, because he was like, yo, take his mask off, and I was like, okay, something's gonna happen to where like there's like gonna be an explosion or something, that like they're not gonna take Peter's mask off in the fucking 10th issue, but they did. So that really threw me for a loop. Like I'm wondering, like, what the hell, like does he know who he is now? Did somebody recognize him? Is he gonna be able to track him down? It's crazy. So I'm really excited to read more of it, jump back into it. This is what I'm reading right now, so we'll get back to some DC stuff after this. I just need a reset with the stuff that I've been reading. I've been reading a lot of DC, so, and I got Marvel Unlimited, man, and I don't even use it, so I need to use it for something. Anyways, y'all, those are my thoughts on the first 10 issues of Ultimate Spider-Man. Can't wait to do the rest. Like, subscribe, all of that stuff. I'm out of here.